Okay, good afternoon and welcome back to the latest pub, which is our product update briefing. Today I'm joined by Rachel. Welcome to the pub. How you doing?
Hi, yeah, good, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, all good. So we've picked out our kind of favorite updates. It's been a while since we've done a pub, but we've got our kind of top 10 to whiz through today. So we'll jump straight into it, add those to the stream, and yeah, we'll get started. So the first one we've picked out is around the lead object. It's now possible to rotate the distribution of leads. So you can now round robin leads based off of specific teams or users, and you can also do it to their availability, which is obviously great if you've got somebody on leave. That will then skip their rotation and only assign it to people that are available in HubSpot.
I think that'll be really good when it comes to like deactivated users as well, because if somebody leaves, they're already in the rotation that if nobody's there available, it can go to the next one rather than having to update lots of different workflows where you may be selecting that one person as the owner for a while.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a setting as well, right? So for this availability in the settings where you can sync your out of office to then update automatically your availability. So if you've got a big BDM team where you've got people going on holiday, especially now holiday season, that can be a good thing to look at. But yeah, and also really good for when people leave. Next up is what HubSpot has even flagged as a major update, and I think fair play because they now have Agent Hub, which is where you can kind of keep a track on all your agents in one place. So we've got some nice screenshots here. So we've got the kind of core agents here where you've got like your AEO, which is showing your visibility. We've got the data agent showing what's been enriched, prospecting agent, how many meetings is it booking, the deal progression, how is that helping your pipeline, and then your customer agent in terms of resolution. So you can kind of configure and track all of those within the kind of intro tab. And then from there, you've then got access, I don't know if there's any more screenshots, into these other tabs where you can build your own agents in the agent tab. You can build agentic workflows in the workflow tab. So you can have workflows that don't actually trigger anything in HubSpot. You could trigger something in Claude, or you could trigger like update in a Google Sheet. So that's the new agentic workflows as well. So that's all now sits within Agent Hub. And one that we kind of discussed pre-call where we were like, how is this not a thing already? Is that you can now customize the title card on CRM records.
Yeah, no, I think that's a really big one because previously not everyone needs to, maybe close dates are done a little bit differently in your company, or you need to see like a breakdown of like what business unit owns it within a company or a group situation. But yeah, definitely one of them things that's like, how is it not already done?
Yeah, I think that one that you just said there is going to be perfect for one of my clients where you've got the business unit of who owns that deal to be able to have that, or on the contact company, etc. It's going to be so useful to be able to edit those defaults. So yeah, love to see that. Another one that we love to see is the cross-object filtering on index pages. No screenshots, which is always a shame. But yeah, effectively, you could be looking at your companies in the index view, and you could filter those companies based off of deal properties, or vice versa.
Yeah, no more having to create sync properties or copy workflows, which obviously we see a lot of in portals, that people create these copy workflows where you copy one property to another one so that you can filter on it in the future. But yeah, I think this is going to be able to do away with all that, and you'll be able to see this cross-object filtering.
Yeah, it'll certainly make things a lot quicker. Or previously people might have built like a list where you're then adding in, and we all know how long it takes a list to load, and then when you share the list, the columns don't stay the same. So to be able to do that within a view is mega. So yeah, really like this update, and it's now in public beta, available to all paid subscriptions, which is great.
Yeah, that's good.
Staying in the index page, I suppose, is column level filtering, which again I think has been another one that's been requested for a while. So yeah, you can now, when you click on those three dots on your column, you can now filter by the column. So if, in this case, if you only wanted to see certain buying roles, you could now filter it from here rather than having to go into your advanced filters. So again, just getting a bit quicker in terms of how you can navigate and sort through the data.
Yeah, I think it's kind of turning into more of like Excel capability as well. So you're not having to, export things and do lots of filtering and stuff like that in Excel and freezing columns, and all these new features are kind of replicating like an outside source, but having it in HubSpot instead.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I often refer to like the index view to somebody looking at HubSpot for the first time as like Excel on steroids, because there's
Yeah.
so much you can do. But that's
Yeah.
definitely the case now, that you can filter by column, because obviously that's something that people are very much used to doing in Excel. So yeah, another great update. We are flying through. We got the meeting calendar in the main nav. So you may have noticed this come into beta, where in from sales, you now have calendar, which I've kind of got mixed reviews about, because I like it in the fact that the functionality within the calendar is so good in terms of prepping for meetings, even booking meetings or looking at what you've got upcoming or what you need to chase back on. However, that is part of the sales workspace, right, with the schedule tab. And I'm a big fan of the sales workspace. So I wonder if does this take away a little bit from that? I don't know.
Yeah, it seems strange to me to kind of pull out a feature of another space into its own menu item, but yeah, I would rather have it within the sales workspace where you can kind of keep everything contained. But yeah, it is really great to see everything all together, including tasks and your meetings and everything you've got coming, and also like across the business as well. It's good to see what's in the next month.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like I say, I think I agree. I hope people don't stop using the sales workspace. I don't think it will, because obviously it's got way more useful stuff. But yeah, still a good update. But
yeah.
And then call recording settings, a bit of an admin update, that you can now configure call recordings either to individual users or teams. So you can put some more permissions around that. So if you only want to record like outbound calls, inbound calls, or you can record custom settings for certain numbers. So you get these settings here where you like don't record outbound calls for these specific numbers or these specific users. So just a bit more customization there in terms of what is and isn't recorded.
Yeah, I guess that would be good if you've got SLT using HubSpot to send create calls and record calls. You don't really want all of them, especially if they're about like internal matters and stuff.
Yeah, and I've got a client where they're kind of wanting to try it, but they don't want to go all in. So this is a good opportunity to be able to just restrict it to a few users to test to start with. A timely update. Some campaign updates, where there's some new automations for campaigns. So we can now put triggers such as this here. When a contact is added to a campaign, you can then do something off the back of that in a workflow. So going to be a useful update for the marketeers. And then another useful one for the marketeers, especially with this GDPR update, in terms of having to have approval. I think if you're sending to France or Italy, you have to have approval to track marketing email clicks and opens. So obviously timingly, HubSpot have released this ability to switch off tracking per marketing email. So if you're splitting out your marketing emails to send that pool of data a separate email, you could just turn the tracking off completely. Or if you're asking for their permission, for the people that say no, they could get that version, versus the people that say yes, they get a separate version. But yeah, you can now turn that off per email. It's just a little setting in there, a little tracking tab, and you can just turn it off or toggle it on.
Yeah, no, it's good that they've done that update. It's going to be easy for people to manage that.
Yeah. And then I think, last but not least, my favorite update, that's partly because I was talking with the product manager about this update a few months ago. So it's great to see it go into public beta, and that is that you can now associate leads with a campaign. Previously, it wasn't possible. You could associate your campaigns to deals, but not to leads. So this is a huge update, because you can now track that marketing campaign all the way through to, okay, well, how many leads did it create? How many deals did it create? What contacts were influenced by the campaign? But that leads piece is almost like the final piece of the puzzle.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's such like a major metric for marketers to know, well, what leads are we creating that we're able to pass over to the sales team, by not having that stat and having to use like a combination of different stats that didn't really quite give you the full picture before. That was obviously hindering, and much better now that you can just directly associate them. It's a shame you have to do it manually though. You can't automate it just yet, but I'm sure that that'll be the next step.
Yeah, I'm sure that will come. But yeah, absolutely huge. I think that's going to get rid of a lot of people's workarounds, like you say, where you've had to like have done it previously with a a custom property to track campaign influence, etc.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, really good update. So yeah, we absolutely flew through those. Hopefully, yeah, people will have enjoyed or found them beneficial.
Yeah, no, I think there's some good ones in there.
Absolutely. But yeah, well, thanks for coming to the pub.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, we'll do it again. But yeah, thanks a lot, and have a good weekend.
Thanks, bye.
Bye.